Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to be having a 1v1 on Semoskiy Winter. Our heroes today are going to be Cobra, playing for the Germans, and his opponent is going to be none other than Nikotin, LFD Nikotin, playing for the Germans. So you might be asking, wait, what? Okay, well these are custom games, and in custom games you can select mirrors, but more importantly, these are the games from the round of 128 from the Sunday Night Fights Season 5 tournament, and I decided to cast these early games that, well, were just really only played and none of them actually got any coverage, so I thought, you know, it would be nice to get some coverage on these games, so we shall see how these turn out. Some of them might be good, some of them might be bad, but we have some of them that are a little bit weird considering that in these rounds of the tournament, mirror matches were allowed. So yeah, in this situation we're going to have Cobra and Nikotin facing off as the Germans. So as Germans mostly do, both of them build themselves their tier 1. And interestingly enough, Cobra got a Grenadier and an MG, while Nikotin got 2 MGs. So we'll see how that works out. It's gonna be interesting. We don't see this a lot, so bear with me if I'm a little bit confused. But well, anyways. Now a little bit of I guess announcement, or not announcement, but you know, heads up to all you guys. I'm gonna be casting a lot of these games. Why? I don't know. I decided it might be a good idea, and hopefully I'm correct. Otherwise, well, you're gonna be seeing a lot of unfulfilling games, maybe. But yeah, all the games in this tournament, in this round, were played in Semoskiy Winter, so we're going to be seeing a lot of Semoskiy Winter. Also, a lot of these games are relatively short compared to most other games, as far as I can tell. I mean, there are some long games there, so don't get me wrong, but yeah. Anyways, so yeah, you'll see this, you know, come into play because for the next few days, probably we're going to be seeing a lot of casts of this tournament. So anyways, we've seen engagement in the center, and that is Pioneer on Pioneer action, it looks like, but there is an MG42 nearby to help out. As far as doctrines go, we see that Nikotin got himself the Mechanized Assault Doctrine, and got himself Assault Grenadiers. So we're going to be seeing MG42s and Assault Grenadiers facing up against Standard Grenadiers and MG42. Oh, and sorry, this wasn't a Pioneer squad, this was the MG42. So the MG42 for Cobra actually made it into the house and opened up on the MG42 for Nikotin that is out in the open, actually killing 2 of its members and forcing it away from the field. But the Pioneers that were trying to get into the house that got denied, they just simply went south to the field point. Let me see if I can get a little bit of info. Well, from both players, they're relatively, I suppose you could say, unknown. They don't have high ranks. Cobra is ranked around the 200s in his German, and Nikotin is well, not even out there. They are seeded 32 for Cobra and 97 for Nikotin in the tournament, so it's 32 versus 97 right now. So we'll see what happens. So far, just moving around the map, we haven't really seen much engagements aside from that one in the center. We now hear an engagement up north, and that is Pioneers engaging against the Assault Grenadiers. Assault Grenadiers, well, pretty much going to win that fight hands down, so the Pios decide to just simply move away and not even bother. Another engagement down south, and that is Grenadiers shooting at the MG42 in that house. So Nikotin playing a little bit more of the passive approach where you just put that MG42 in the house, but Cobra as well is leaving his MG42 in the church, not even putting it outside the cap or something, so it's a little bit more passive play from both players here. Grenadiers do get suppressed by that MG42, but manage to crawl themselves out of the arc of fire, and we now have a mortar on the field for Nikotin, while a mortar is also being produced for Cobra. So, interesting. I really don't know how to analyze this, I suppose. Interesting. Oh well, anyways, mortar taking some shots at the church, landing some good shots and actually killing one of the men inside. We see over here the the Assault Grenadier, the A-Grens, against the Standard Grens. I would assume the Assault Grenadiers would win this fight simply because of their SMGs and the damage potential. Again, it's not something that we usually see, although one of those Assault Grenadiers does go down pretty quickly to the Grens themselves. A second Assault Grenadier goes down. The Grenadiers themselves are down to about half health. And this is very interesting. I mean, I suppose if you check the values of the units of the squads, it would be evident that this is the case, but I would have thought the Assault Grenadiers would beat out the Grand Squad hands down. But, well, with the support of an MG42 from Nikotin, the Assault Grens actually managed to win that fight, down to 2 men themselves. They would have lost the fight on a one-on-one, but they did have some support, considering that they were close to their own base. We hear an MG42 firing, and that is the one over here on the southern fuel, taking some shots at these Grenadiers, trying to capture that strategic point. They do get pinned down, and they have not actually moved out of the way, so they'll take some additional shots. And I think I missed that since I was checking up here, but it looks like Cobra actually stole the mortar, cleared it out at some point, and he now has himself 2 mortars. Kind of hard to tell, considering that, you know, they're still German mortars anyways, but yeah, it looks like that's what happened. And both mortars seem to be bombarding right now the MG42 down south. We see a big ass hole here on the house. Look at that. Took out an entire side of the house, but yeah. This is very very strange to see. So, tech-wise, we have no tiers for either player, aside from tier 1. But we are only 6 minutes into the game, so not really something that we should expect
we have
always.
liberated the objective.
Sorry about that. And, yeah, I mean, a very passive game here from Nikotin, however. He is putting his MG42s on the side. This MG42, it is protecting the fuel, but it's not connected to it, so it's not really benefiting anybody being there right now. I suppose it is a deterrent for Cobra to simply capture that point, but Nikotin could use a little bit more aggressiveness to be able to control territory better, but without his mortar now, he is simply getting bombarded by both of them at the same time right now. And these Assault Grenadiers at his strategic point are getting blasted to bits. They do manage to capture the point, but they do end up retreating right away. Up north, Grens getting... very nice. They did get pinned down by the MG42 in this house, but the house collapsed, killing the entire squad inside. See if we can actually find the bodies in there. No. Can't actually see any bodies in there. Oh well. So, yeah. Oh, interesting. Tier 2 now up for Nikotin and got himself a scout car. Does Cobra have any response? Nothing yet so far. So that scout car will be pretty good, but there are Grenadiers on the field, and Grenadiers can very easily Faust it, and I think this is what these guys are going to do. They do run into the scout car. The scout car does upgrade its gun, which isn't exactly the best thing to do, I would assume. Not a bad thing, you know, necessarily. Because, you know, it still retains its anti-infantry capabilities, and it's, in a sense, added damage, but since it's not anti-infantry damage, it's not benefiting him in any sense right now to get it. And, well, scout car did go down quite quickly, so that it was a little bit of wasted munitions anyway, so. Grenadiers in the house, mortar set up in the cemetery, other one here behind the house. So it's just bombarding all the infantry for Nikotin that is trying to push out. Assault Grens do manage to push away one of the Grand squads. Down south, we see a Grenadier squad getting mauled by that MG42. It's trying to retreat. Can he make it out alive? Last burst doesn't actually kill him. One more burst, but he manages to make it out alive. Just barely, but he does. So, infantry-wise, Cobra in a massive advantage right now. I mean, there are only 2 Assault Grens, a Panzer Grenadier squad, and an MG42 for Nikotin, while Cobra has himself 4 Grenadier squads, an MG42, and 2 mortars. Panzer Grenadiers, I suppose, are the difference there, since they, I believe, should be stronger than Grenadiers, but that is just an assumption that I have. I don't actually know. Because I've never, well, not to say never, but I don't usually see mirror images. Mortar squad laying some shots on that Assault Gren, forces him off of the field. Panzer Grenadiers do run to the mortar, forcing it again to run away. Well, not again, it's the other one, but either way, it's another mortar out. And we now see Tier 3 coming up for Cobra, so he's skipping Tier 2. And one would assume it's either a Panzer IV or a Flak Panzer. I doubt he's going Tier 3 to get himself a Stug, but a Flak Panzer would be quite nice. Although Nicotine is getting himself a pack gun, so there's that. I mean, still, Panzer IV or Flak Panzer would win that out, but it would take a little bit. Bunker laid down over here on the left-hand fuel for Cobra. It hasn't been upgraded to anything. There he goes. He's starting to upgrade for a MG42, so he will be able to lock down this fuel eventually, but the Panzer Grenadiers do manage to decap it and are now moving away. Not exactly sure why they did that, but that's what they did. Assault Grenadiers retreating, and Assault Grenadiers pushing out. Grenadiers may want to hold their ground. Now they're actually going to go into the house. From what I've seen previously, the Assault Grens, or the grenades from the Assault Grenadiers is what I'm trying to say, they do decently good damage inside houses, but we shall see. And the reason it does decently good damage is because the grenades don't all land in the same place. They spread out, so they have more chances of damaging the squad members inside the house. Each individual grenade isn't as strong, but, you know, they can add up if they land correctly there. Anyways, pack on the field now for Nicotine. Is taking some shots at the house. Could collapse it if Cobra is careful. But it will take a while, and the Grenadiers decide to just simply jump out. They're going to go for the point, and the pack gun is going to just completely ignore them for the most part as far as killing them. She's going to shoot at them, but not going to, like, well, never mind. It actually did kill one of their guys, so I was mistaken. Grenadiers do manage to get that point, and they are down to 2 men. They need to retreat. The Assault Grens are going to kill them on the retreat if they are... can they? No, it doesn't look like they can. Well, that was disappointing. You'll hear an MG42 somewhere, or an LMG. Oh, here we go. LMG obliterating a Pioneer squad trying to go for the victory point or the munitions. It gets caught in the heavy snow, and down goes a Pioneer. So, 5 units left on the field for Cobra. Pretty sure it's game, but let's see how long he decides to tough it out. Panzer IV on the field for Cobra, so he decided not to go for the Flak Panzer. Which again is not a bad choice. The Panzer IV is a great overall unit. It is capable of, well, handling pretty much any threat, while not superb at any of them. You know, it is, well, multi-purpose. Pretty much the most multi-purpose unit, or, well, vehicle, I suppose you could say, in the game right now. Because it can deal with tanks quite effectively. Even the heavier tanks, if it can, you know, get a flank, start shooting on the rear, will do some nice penetration and damage. It can kill infantry, you know, relatively reliably. And yeah, I mean, pretty much it's a good all-around tank. Best all-around tank in the game, in my opinion. But again, well, considering what Nicotine has on the field right now, a Flak Panzer would have probably been a better choice. There are no Fausts to go off. Sure, the Panzer Grenadiers could get themselves Panzer Shreks, but, you know, you can still pretty much kill them very easily with a Flak Panzer. And, well, those pack guns are stationary, and the Flak Panzer is quite good at clearing them out. So, that's why I'm saying a Flak Panzer would have been probably a better choice. But, again, Panzer IV, still there's nothing on the field that Nicotine can do to deal with it. He has his 2 AT guns basically just preventing Cobra from running into his base and killing him, but that's about it. Victory point-wise, not a lot has happened. 500 points still for Cobra and 319 for Nicotine. He has managed to capture the one on the right-hand side, so he is stopping that bleed, well, the speed of the bleed, just the 1 point per tick. But Pio's over here with Minesweepers, facing off against the Assault Grenadiers, but the Assault Grenadiers are going to get run down by the tank. One of them does get run down. Another one gets gunned down, and there's 2 left. Not exactly sure what they're doing, and they are retreating. Can they make it out alive? I think they will, although they will have to run through a... No, this LMG grenade is getting pushed away by that Assault Grenadier, so they're going to be fine. And the pack guns do help out with their combined volleys and firepower, but it's not exactly the best thing. So we now see that Cobra got himself his doctrine, and that is the Spearhead Doctrine, I believe? Yeah. And is getting himself a mortar half-track. Okay, so he wants even more mortars on the field. So he built one. Very nice nades, not a lot of damage, but it did force away the Grenadiers. So yeah, I mean, He built one mortar, he stole another, and then he's getting a mortar with treads. Nikotin now down to less than 300 points. The Panzer IV still over here on the right-hand side, harassing, taking some shots at those Panzer Grens. It's crushing all the heavy cover, crushing one of those Grens, backing off onto the rest of them. Can he actually get the crush? He's trying to turn around, but the Panzer Grens are just dancing around the tank. He's still going for the crush. Can he get the crush? You got the crush. Pioneers, though, getting wrecked by the Panzer Grenadiers. Down to 1 man. It is going to die, and there it goes. Panzer IV getting furious because of he's losing his workers, but he's trying to end this, you know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the Panzer IV, yeah, it'll do damage to infantry, but, you know, Flak Panzer would have already killed these guys. Pack guns getting moved into position, trying to take some shots at that Panzer IV, but the Panzer IV does move out of the way quite easily, and we now have the mortar half-track pushing forward very riskily. There isn't any infantry in front of it to defend it. We now see an incendiary round getting fired. Is it going to be fired on the victory point? It looks like it is. And boom, there's the incendiary round. Very nice. Going to start cooking those Panzer Grenadiers. Down goes one of those Panzer Grenadiers. The other ones are right at the edge. Are they actually taking any damage? Mortar's still taking some more shots. Panzer Grenadiers do end up retreating, and the packs are just there for defense now. So Nikotin essentially is just stalling for time. Hasn't actually built anything. He still has his tier 2. I mean, I suppose maybe he's trying to wait for a tiger, but that doesn't really make much sense considering that he has only 3 victory points. And he doesn't really have much fuel or income to work with, so I suppose that's why. Second Panzer IV now being produced for Cobra. And the Panzer IV is harassing the Assault Grenadiers. Mortar shots landing on the Assault Grenadiers, down to 2 men, retreating across the ice, taking some shots by the Panzer IV, and the Panzer IV whiffs and misses. So, yeah, Grenadiers pushing forward. They're going to cut off again all the territory for Nikotin, and we have a LMG Gren going here. Can it actually catch this Assault Grenadier on the open? Needs to stop to take a shot, and no, it doesn't stop. It actually moves. Assault Grenadiers actually setting them up over here. Just have them stop, and they will shoot at everything. Come on, and there we go. They're shooting at the pack gun. Pack gun gets decrewed, and the Assault Gren makes it out alive. But the second pack gun is decrewed. So Cobra now has 2 free pack guns that he could pick up if he wanted to.
Territory secure.
And Grens all over the place. So yeah, game should be over, but Nikotin refuses to give up. Is he gonna be able to pull anything out? No. That is a simple no. Okay, guys. Well, yeah. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed the game. I know it wasn't that exciting to watch. It was, you know, pretty average. But I mean, good game for both players. They tried their best. It is a tournament after all, and sometimes you'll get good games, sometimes you'll get bad games. But as the tournament progresses, you're going to see amazing games, as we saw on the cast of the Sunday Night Fights, which had an amazing series by Andy's Ripping and OMG Pop. That was pretty good games. Anyways, guys, yeah, so expect more games in Semoskiy coming up after this. I'm not exactly sure how often I can be releasing them. At the very least once a day, but I'm gonna try to pump more of them, you know, more frequently, so we can get through this initial round a lot quicker. But anyways, guys, once again, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.